here today to inform both the Utica City Common Council members and the citizens of Utica about the dangers and the moral issues of fluoridating public water, as many are aware of the truth behind the masquerade our government has created. All the information provided today is available and supported in the information packets and short papers that I can provide if you don't have one. First off, what is fluoride? Well, the fluoride that we use, hydrofluorosic acid, is a byproduct of the fertilizer in the aluminum industries. Fluoride is toxic, corrosive, and highly lethal. Fluoride is a main component in many pesticides and contains many pollutants, including arsenic, lead, and radioactive isotopes. If you were to dump this fluoride into the ocean, rivers, or on the land, you would be fined and possibly imprisoned for polluting the environment. But these industries sell it to our water companies that dump it into the drinking water under the umbrella of fluoridation. Today, the United States is one of few countries that fluoridate their water. Among those that do not are China, Austria, Belgium, Finland, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, the Netherlands, Hungary, and Japan. Since 2010, over 70 cities in North America have dropped fluoridation, including most recently, Wichita, Kansas. Why don't they? Because they found fluoride to be harmful, ineffective, and there are better ways to deliver medication. Even results from the World Health Organization show no significant differences in dental caries between fluoridated and non-fluoridated communities. In fact, studies show that there is no increase in dental caries in areas where fluoridation has ceased. While our health and water departments are making claims as to the safety of fluoride, the EPA has classified it as a substance with evidence of developmental neurotoxicity. The CDC over the years has decreased the amount of fluoride recommended, has said children under 6 months should not consume, and the best way to use it is topically. The National Kidney Foundation dropped their support of fluoridation on June 7, 2008, and the FDA now requires that toothpaste be labeled with poison control warning in case of injection. The amount of fluoride in 1 glass of water is equivalent to the amount of recommended toothpaste. There are many health problems associated with fluoride: brain damage, fluoride IQ in children, thyroid disease, fluorosis of the bones and the teeth, and increases in risk to certain cancers, fibromyalgia, and infertility. Fluoride poisons enzymes, interferes with G proteins, and is bioaccumulative, meaning that it builds up in the body over time. The State and Water Board claim that they control the amount of fluoride that citizens get, but they don't and they can't. The only thing that they can control is the concentration. Ours is currently at 0.7 parts per million, or 0.7 milligrams per liter. What they cannot control is the dose. The dose is the total amount consumed, whereas 1 liter is 0.7 milligrams, 2 liter is 1.4 milligrams, and so on. They also cannot control the dosage, which is usually calculated by the dose divided by a person's body weight. What that means is that a 30-pound child is going to have a different response than a 150-pound adult consuming that same dose. Besides children, elderly citizens, people with health problems, people taking medications are all going to respond differently. On top of all that, there is no way of knowing how much fluoride we ingest each day. Besides drinking water, foods grown or prepared with fluoridated water will contain drinks like soda and juices from concentrates that contain filtered water, generally use municipal water sources, and the concentration of the fluoride is unknown unless you call the city where the bottling plant is located. Bathing and showering also increases our intake of fluoride. Now, defined by Black's Law Dictionary in medicine, is the science and art of dealing with the prevention, cure, and alleviation of diseases. The term is not limited to substances supposed to possess curative or remedial purposes. In this case, fluoride, the only component added to the water for the purpose of treating humans and not the water, is being used to treat tooth decay. The New York Public Health Law, Section 2805-D, explicitly states that the lack of informed consent means the failure of the person providing the professional treatment or diagnosis to disclose to the patient such alternatives thereto and reasonably foreseeable risks and benefits involved as a reasonable medical, dental, or podiatric practitioner under similar circumstances would have disclosed in a manner permitting the patient to make knowledgeable evaluation. The American Medical Association and the Nuremberg Codes also guarantee the right of informed consent. You would think that after over 60 years of fluoridation and opposition, that the American Dental Association and other government agencies would be able to provide definite proof of the claims they push, yet they cannot. The evidence of fluoride dangers outweigh any benefit that can be produced. There is no margin of safety worth the dangers this poison presents. It is time that we end this great fraud that has been given to the people in the name of special interests. For many years, citizens have been told things are good for our health, and then we are poisoned and sickened. Heroin and cocaine were used in the early part of the 20th century as curative remedies. Cigarettes were deemed healthy by doctors in the early 40s and 50s. Lead and asbestos were both used for many years until we found out how poisonous they actually are. What happened to the freedom of choice? The monopoly on our public water is inhumane. If people want to be fluoridated, you can give them the choice, and they can buy fluoridated toothpaste or fluoride pills. Not only is it cheaper to buy these items than it is to buy a special fluoride filter to remove it, but it guarantees that those who don't want it don't get it. In closing, I want to remind everyone here that this is a democracy where majority rule. We live in a republic where every individual's rights are just as important as the next. Our Constitution, under Article 4, Section 4, makes it explicit that the United States should guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government. We should not have to live with a decision today that was made over 60 years ago. Adding toxins such as arsenic, lead, and hydrofluorosilicic acid to our water under the guise of fluoridation is not only unacceptable, but it should be ended immediately. Neither my family nor anybody else's should be forced to consume this poison. Please, let's end this great fallacy.
Thank you. We have privilege of the floor.